debt forgiven. We all were in debt to God, but he forgave the debt and say, you don't owe me nothing but to live for me. Be a light for me. Be my voice in the world. Be a testimony. Be a living vessel, a holy vessel. We were all in debt to God because we all have sinned against God. And the wages of sin is what? Debt. And God forgave the debt. He sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die in our stead. It should have been you and I on the cross. But Jesus became the substitutionary debt for us. Amen. So we all owe God in a sense. If we are grateful for what he has done, you will feel like you are in debt to him. If you are grateful for what he has done. But there's a Pharisee in the Bible. He's a Pharisee named Simon. And he invited Jesus to come over to his house for dinner. And Jesus went to his house for dinner. But there was a woman in the neighborhood who all referred to her as a sinful woman. And I don't like to add scriptures to the Bible, but theologians and some Bible scholars have said this woman probably was a prostitute. But the Bible don't say that, so I'm not going to say that. Amen. But we know she had a lot of sins because Jesus said she did. But this Pharisee, I'm sure he had some sins too, but he probably didn't have as many as this woman did. So in other words, he invited Jesus to come over to his house for dinner. Actually, he was inviting God into his house. But all he did was prepare the dinner for him. He didn't anoint Jesus' feet. He didn't fix his plate. All he did was have a dinner and God came over. But when this woman heard that he was in town, she had an alabaster box of oil, which was probably expensive, and she probably had earned that however she earned her living. She went over to the house some kind of way. She snuck in. They didn't detect her. And back in those days when the Jews would eat, they would lay on the floor kind of like sideways and prop themselves up. But their feet would be extended behind them. They didn't sit at a table like we sit. And some kind of way this woman came into the room where they were dining, and when she saw Jesus, she just started crying. She cried so much that her tears began to fall on his feet. And she started wiping his feet with her hair. And then she realized that this is God I'm doing this for. She started kissing his feet. And Simon, the one that invited Jesus to his house, they began to murmur and say, if he was a real prophet, and I know that's what he's saying, I'm breaking it down, so we're going to look at it. If he was, people say, if he was a man of God, if he was a real preacher, either you're a preacher or you're not. God can call you, but you decide to go out and sin outside of God. Don't mean God didn't call you. It don't mean that preacher can't help you. But if he was a prophet, this is what they said, he would know what kind of woman touching on him. Then Jesus asked Simon a question. He said, Simon, let me give you this little story. He said, one man, there were two people that owed this guy some money. One owed him this amount, and the other one owed him that amount. He said, well, since neither one of y'all can pay me, I just don't worry about it. I forgive both of y'all. Don't worry about it. Y'all don't owe me nothing. He said, which one you think will be more grateful? He said, probably the one that owed him the most. He said, you sure answered right. He said, I came in your house, you ain't do nothing for me. You didn't anoint my head. You didn't wipe my feet, which is customary. You're supposed to do all that for your guests. But this woman ceased not to kiss my feet and wipe my feet with her tears, because she have many sins, but I'm going to forgive of them all. That's right. And he said, to whom much is forgiven, much is loved. So what he's trying to say is, God has done something for all of us.
Amen.
But some of us look at what God done for us as not really a big thing. So we don't really worship him with our whole heart. Then she used that oil on him. And that was some costly oil. With no cheap oil. So what he's trying to show us is that I have forgiven you the debt that you owe me. And you don't have to go to the cross because I'm going to go for you. But a lot of people don't value that somebody dying for them as being something important. But we got to snap out of it. That means our eyes are still closed. Greater love had no man than this, Jesus said, that a man would lay down his life for his friends. And what is debt? What is debt? Debt is typically money that is owed or due. That's typically what it is. Debt is typically money that is owed or due. But it's also a feeling of gratitude for a service or for a favor. But it's also a feeling of gratitude for a service or a favor. Some synonyms are words that mean the same thing as debt or appreciation. Sometimes we just appreciate what others do for us. So we should feel like we're in debt to them, and we do so by doing them back a favor. It also could mean thanks, or we feel like we're obligated to them now, or we have feelings of gratitude. So let's look at Luke chapter 7, since I already kind of gave you a rundown of what the story is about, but I want you to see it for yourself. And I say, this is a good teaching lesson. Don't take for granted what God is doing for us. And he gonna do more stuff. You think the trouble you got in the past, the only trouble you gonna ever get in? You don't think you're gonna never get in no more trouble? You don't think you're gonna never need to be delivered from something in the future? God's still gonna be right there with you if you need him. I wouldn't rely on my past blessing. I'm going to need some blessings in the future too. So we want to look at Luke chapter 7 and go down. We got a lot of verses, so I'm going to read them in parts. Look to your name and say, don't worry, we're not going to finish today.
Don't worry, we ain't going to finish today.
That was just the introduction, just to kind of get you stirred up. Don't take for granted what he do for you. Anything he do for you. Show him that you appreciate it. And one way you could show him that you appreciate him is continue to live for him. God needs some children that are willing to live for him in 2016. Don't worry about what everybody else doing. You let your light shine and you rededicate your life to God, because you're going to need God in the end. It may not seem like it now, but we all need him. We need him daily. We need him to take our next breath.
Yes.
We need him. Luke chapter 7, start at verse 36. When you find it, say, bless his name.
Bless his name.
Luke 7:36. It says, and one of the Pharisees desired that he would eat with him. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. Meat means to eat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Jesus sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment. See, that's why I tell people, don't never come to church broke. See, y'all think the preachers be just begging for you. Come with something. I don't care if it's $1. Say, when I go to church tomorrow, I'm putting this $2 in the Lord's house. It's not how much you give. It's the condition of your heart when you give it. She heard that Jesus was in town. Look, she brought him. She said, I got a little gift for him. Just if I got something for him if I get that close to him. Now this was a sinner. We supposed to be his children. Don't stash nothing on God. Don't stash nothing from God. When you see this sinner woman going to meet God, and already the first thing she do is grab something to break. This is an example for us. If we're not on that level yet spiritually. And the Bible said wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is. God wants that thing you won't give him. That's what I want. That's the gift I want. The one you won't let me have. The one you won't share with me. An alabaster box of ointment was expensive.
Amen.
But this is what she had. Look what it said. Look verse 38. And stood at his feet behind him, weeping. Just looking in his presence, she started crying. And began to wash his feet with tears, and then wiped them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. She didn't waste no time giving them the gift. She got busy. She said, "You're going to know I love you because I know you don't want to help me forgive me of my past and my current condition. It's you, oh Lord, you." And look at these religious people. Now, when the Pharisees, which had bidden him, this is the one that invited him, saw it, he spake within himself. This is what he thinking in his heart. But Jesus know your thoughts.
That's right.
He said within himself. Now, he looking at all this instead of being saying, praise the Lord, and get in on some of the action. And that's the attitude we ought to say, I'm not going to let you outdo me. I'm going to praise him too. I see you giving, I'm going to give. I see you shouting, I'm going to shout too. I'm going to get my praise on with you. We're going to lift up holy hands together. That's what his attitude should have been, but it wasn't. He was murmuring on the inside.
That's right.
Now, when the Pharisee would have bidden him saw it, he spake. Really, she was outshining him because he thought he was doing something because he invited him to dinner and Jesus at his house. But the spotlight wasn't on the snakes no more. The spotlight was on this woman. The food, they say the food was getting cold.
The food was getting
I
cold.
didn't like that. I'm here to entertain you, Jesus. Jesus said, I don't want to be entertained. I come to deliver.
Amen.
See, so many times we want to be entertaining, we ought to be delivering.
That's right.
This man, look what he said within himself. Y'all see it, huh? Y'all can reteach this to somebody. Look what he said in his heart. This man, if he were a prophet, but he was good enough for you to invite him. Would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touched him, for she is a sinner. Now that's what he's saying in his heart about the man he invited into his house. He really don't want that preacher there. He just wanted to be bragging the next day to say, guess what? Who was at my house that night? Guess what we did? Huh? He didn't care nothing about Jesus saying if this man were a prophet in his heart. He didn't say it with his mouth, but that's what the Bible says. As a man thinketh, so is it. If you look at a woman and desire to have her in your heart, Jesus said, not the pastor, you already committed adultery. We got a lot of adulterers in America. And we're gonna straighten this out today. It ain't just the men that's looking either in 2016. I love me some Tank. I love me some Johnny Gill, baby. Well, I hope you ain't want them in your heart. Because you already done slept with him. You don't believe me? Read Matthew chapter 5 when you get home. You see it in your heart now. Look what Jesus says. So Jesus he say, Simon, look at verse 40. He said, let me straighten this brother out right quick. I'm going to try to get him delivered too. Jesus didn't get mad. I'm going to try to help Simon because he lost. I thought he had his act together. He lost. Not saying stuff like that about me in his heart. Boy, that's a power. I want to get like that. You know how much trouble I could avoid if I know what you was thinking? I ain't going to condemn you. I just can avoid you.
Amen.
You know how much trouble I won't get if I knew what they were thinking about me?
Amen.
Somebody ought to say, I want to be like Jesus.
I want to be like Jesus.
Forget the walking on water. Let me see what you're thinking about.
Amen.
Verse 40. And Jesus answering said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And he said, Master, say on. Jesus said, Simon, I want to tell you something. Here goes Simon. Go ahead. What's up? spill your beans.
Come on with it.
He didn't know what Jesus was finna say.
Come on with it. Yes, Lord.
He said there was a certain creditor which had two debtors. Two people owed him some money. The one owed 500 pence and the other owed 50 pence. Y'all know I'm going to go look up what 500 pence mean so y'all can understand this story a little better. 500 pence mean one owed him $381. 50 pence mean the other one owed him $38. Huh? He forgave both of them. That's what Jesus telling old Simon. And when he had nothing to pay, verse 42, and when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore, which of them will love him the most? That's what Jesus asked Simon. And Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he forgave the most. And he said unto him, thou hast rightly judged. You sure answered right. The man that loved him the most was the one he forgave the $381.
Yeah.
Now, somebody might owe you $10. You told them, don't worry about it. They looked at that as nothing. Because it was a small amount. They figured, well, he got all that money. $10 ain't going to hurt him. That is not the attitude to have.
Amen.
The Bible said, owe no man nothing but to love him. If you owe him, you pay him. But the one that he forgave the $38 just said, whew, man, thank you. And that was it. But the one that he forgave $381, you know what? He loved that man. This man told me, don't worry about the $381 I owe him. He told him, you judge right. Then look what he does. I love the way Jesus teach. Verse 44. He said, thou hast rightly judged. You sure answer right. Verse 44. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, see thou this woman? I enter into thine house. Thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she washed my feet with the tears and did wipe them with the hairs of her head. Thou gavest me no kiss, because it was customary that you would greet with a kiss on the cheek. You didn't even greet me. Thou gave me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came, had not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman had anointed my feet with the oil. You was supposed to anoint my head. Let me clean up a little bit before I sit down and eat. But she went to the dirtiest part. It was customary for you to anoint my head. But this woman went to my feet and anoint my feet, which is not customary. She went above and beyond. But verse 45 said, thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came in, had not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman had anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. Then he said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. You see that? So what Jesus was saying is, the reason why this woman did all that, because she knew Jesus wasn't going to forgive her and wasn't going to judge her. So that's why she was acting the way she did, because she had a lot of things she had done that wasn't right. And Jesus forgave her. And so now she's grateful. But old Simon, who already looked like he got it going on, felt like, he didn't do nothing that was customary for God. Just invited him to eat. And probably just wanted to tell everybody about it the next day. His motive was wrong, but Jesus used this to teach him. So I'm not going to finish with my footnotes. That was just the opening. So next Sunday, if the Lord willing, and the title is called A Debt Forgiven, we'll conclude. Let us give the Lord a hand clap of praise. Now I want to open up the floor for if you got any questions.